And hello there. We'd like to welcome you into the Philly and Fred show for Thursday, February 12th, 2026. On today's episode, we're going to talk about the Super Bowl. We're going to have a couple true or falses. We're going to rank the top five tight ends. And we're going to give you what we think the AFC West rankings look like next year. Philly, my fault. On to the Super Bowl. Seahawks 29, Patriots 13. What were your thoughts on the Super Bowl, Philly?
Yeah, so this game pretty much went how I kind of envisioned it going into the Super Bowl. I knew if Sam Darnold and the Seahawks played a clean game, then they should have dominated both sides of the ball, and that's really what happened. Offense kind of got off to a slow start for the Seahawks. They was moving the ball slightly, but they was only coming away with field goals through the first half. So Patriots defense did good once they got on the Patriots side of the field. But Darnold, he got under pressure, but he wasn't taking sacks, so that was good on his part. Kenneth Walker dominated the ground. They gave him 27 touches, and if you're giving your running back 27 touches, I feel like you're imposing your will on the other side of the ball. So they didn't even need to use JSN as much as they thought they would have to probably going into this game, and he also got injured. And then yeah, on the other side, that Seahawks defense just brung pressure on Drake May pretty much the whole entire game. Couldn't get a run game going. They were getting in the passing lanes. And yeah, that's kind of what the Patriots offense has been doing the entire playoffs. They have played, you know, four of the top 10 defenses in the playoffs, but we just saw how they have struggled in those games. Will Campbell and that O line really couldn't hold up for Drake May. So yeah, that's kind of how I envisioned the game going. I didn't think we would get our first touchdown in the fourth quarter, so that was a little surprising. But nonetheless, it went kind of how I thought it would go.
See, that's my thing. I overthought this Super Bowl way too much because when the conference championship games ended, I said, "Oh my goodness!" Remember, we literally had it in one of the true or falses. We didn't say it, but one of the ones in the notes literally said this is going to be the biggest blowout in Super Bowl history, and I overthought it. I had 2 weeks to think on it, and when the games, like I said, they came out, I thought it was going to be a blowout Seahawks, and then I kept getting more time to think and think. And what I thought the game was going to get, it got closer and it got closer and it got closer. And then I ended up picking them covering. And that was just idiotic. And really, on the Seahawks side, what did we say before the playoffs started? We said they're the best roster in the NFL. And if they don't turn the ball over, they're going to win the Super Bowl. Well, they had zero turnovers in the playoffs. So, I mean, when you got a defense that good and you have zero turnovers, you're going to win. Like, it's hard to be beat. When you got that much talent and you don't turn the ball over, like, you make them beat you. Your offense says, okay, maybe we don't got to score 30, 35, but as long as we just don't give them the ball, we ain't got to do too much because that's how good our defense is. And in two of the three games, I mean, they basically gave up nothing. They gave up really nothing in the 49ers game, and they didn't give up nothing in this game until midway through the fourth quarter. So, yeah, that defense, I mean, Witherspoon, they kept bringing them on blitzes. And it was crazy because they got there like every which way. They got there blitzing, and then they got there when they only had four. And that's like going back to like the importance of getting there with four is insane because that was literally the reason that the Giants beat the Patriots twice in the Super Bowl. Because if you had to blitz Brady, he was going to slice you up. If you gave him all the time in the world, he was going to slice you up. But that's what the Giants could do with Strahan and them other defensive linemen. They could get to you with four. Like, as a defense, there's nothing more important you can do. Because if you can get there with four and drop seven, I mean, it's tough to complete passes. And if they not only can rush the passer but win the line of scrimmage, then you can't really run the ball either. So, I mean, that defensive line playing like that, McDonald looked like he was a step ahead of McDaniels. Uh, yeah, I mean, that defense was just like Hall, a guy that had 2 sacks all year. has 2 sacks in the Super Bowl. Witherspoon got there multiple times. I mean, Lawrence was destroying Campbell basically all game. And yeah, that's all I got to say about the defense. I mean, that defense, all playoffs, unbelievable. And on the offensive side, Darnold, I think he was asked not to turn the ball over, and he didn't. Like, I think it's as simple as that. And then he got the one play to Barner that was wide open, and he took it, and he hit it. So, like, I think the game plan was honestly, they weren't, like, thinking the game plan was bad. Or they didn't think, they probably didn't think their offense was playing bad early on. They were probably like, oh, this is the game plan. Don't turn the ball over, score some points. They can't score on our defense. So, do it like this. Like you said, Kenneth Walker, I mean, 160 yards. The first Super Bowl MVP since Terrell Davis. I mean, that's something. Yeah, that's just on the Seahawks side. I think that's, and like you said, another thing about Darnold, you said he wasn't taking sacks. I think that was honestly the difference in the game because about 4 or 5 times, Darnold on field goal drives, they got to him and he'd strip off the sack, and then he maybe wouldn't make the throw or make the run, but he would throw it away or maybe do a little dump down and gain yards. Like he never took sacks that killed drives because May did that the first drive. May took that sack and on first down, and then by then it's second and almost 20 against that defense. You're not going to get a first down. And that was like Darnold got out of a couple sacks, and May never. Every time they got to May, or every time they got there, they got him. So yeah, that's it on Seattle. On the Patriots side, I don't really understand. I did not understand their offensive game plan. McDaniels, I don't know why he died on the hill of leaving Will Campbell one-on-one. All playoffs long, he left Will Campbell one-on-one, and he got torched every time. It was DeMarcus Lawrence in this game, and it was Will Anderson against the Texans. And the Broncos got there 5 times too, but those were the 2 the most I remember because it felt like literally every play they got there, they either rushed May, hit him, or got the sack, and they wouldn't change. They never sent the running back over there. They never had a tight end to chip him. I mean, they didn't even try to get the ball out quick. They kept running long, developing plays and didn't help him. And, you know, he didn't look near as good after the injury, so I'm not going to say, like, oh, he's done. He's not no good. Like, we'll see when he gets a full off season. We'll see how healthy, how good he looks. But, yeah, that I didn't really understand I didn't really get that.
Do you think?
And like I said,
Sorry, do you think the Patriots played this a little conservative at times? I know there was a few third and shorts. It seemed like the approach that Vrabel was taking the Broncos game when it was bad weather, like he's gonna leave it up to his defense. But I felt like he probably should have thought like, oh, I'm gonna need to score some points on the Seahawks defense, you know.
But I mean, I get what you're saying, but then like, how could he have any confidence?
Right. With
Like that,
yeah.
he may have thought like, honestly, our best chance to score might be our defense because it's different. Like when you're getting first downs or you're turning the ball over or you're missing kicks, like that's one thing. They weren't moving the ball at all.
Yeah.
Like they were getting sacked, stuffed in the run, and they didn't run the ball almost at all. Like Henderson and Stevenson had been really good the later part of the year. They had run the ball really good the later part of the year. And in the playoffs, because we talked about it before the game, I think almost every game they had ran it 30 plus times for, I think, like 130 plus, 150 plus every game. And in this game, they just didn't. And I get the Seahawks dominated the line of scrimmage, but like you got to try at some point because maybe you keep doing it, keep banging your head against the wall, keep banging your head against the wall. Maybe you break one because the pass game sure as heck wasn't doing it. The only thing you were getting in the pass game was sacked. Like that was the only thing. Yeah, I was confused by the game plan. I mean, they gave effort, but I mean the Seahawks, like we said, just as long as they don't give it away, they should win the Super Bowl, and they did. The Seahawks team, I mean, really good. They had the best point differential per game this season, or well, biggest point differential since a Super Bowl winning team since the 1999-2000 Rams. So like his team was dominant. Sam Darnold got his Super Bowl, got his redemption. And he really I like him in this playoffs because in 2 games, he didn't need to throw the ball a bunch. And he just needed to not turn it over. And he didn't do that in both games. He didn't play crazy, but he did what he needed to, which was not turn the ball over. And then in the Rams, when it felt like they knew they needed to score, he had 350 and 3 touchdowns. So when people say, he's a game manager, and that's not a slight at all. You want your quarterback to be a game manager. You want him to be able to throw for 150 yards and not turn the ball over, and then throw it for 350 and 3 touchdowns. And he showed he could do both. And people talked about the Patriots' schedule this year. Well, if they make the playoffs and make it to the Super Bowl next year, there won't be any complaints about that. Because have you seen their schedule?
Oh, it's a gauntlet. Teams
Oh,
like this, you want to fade in like next year's situation. Yeah.
oh yeah, absolutely. That's because I seen their schedule and I said, oh boy, this was maybe the year to do it because next year,
Hmm.
if they're good, we'll see it
Oh yeah.
because they're going to play a tough. They're like the first 7 or 8 people on the schedule, which of course ain't the weeks they're going to play, but that was the first 7 or 8 teams I saw, and I think the worst one was the Lions at 9-8. And if they improve a couple things, they might be able to be a 10-win, 11-win team. So
Hmm.
yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh man, they better not just stay the same. They better improve next year. But any other thoughts on the game, Seahawks or Patriots?
Nah, kudos to both of those teams. I don't. If you had a Seahawks or Patriots going to the Super Bowl before the season and you wasn't a fan, then I don't know. You knew something. But yeah, kudos to both of those teams for this year because nobody had either one of those teams in coming into the season in the Super Bowl. So
Yeah. And I'll add one last thing to the game. People are probably saying, "Oh, it's a crap game." I think there's a difference in a crap game and a good defensive game. I think that was just a dominant Seahawks defense, and then dominant Seahawks defense, and then a Patriots defense that played dang good too. They gave up 5 field goals and 1 touchdown, and the other touchdown was a defensive touchdown. So they really did their job, but that Seahawks defense was great all year, and then even better in the playoffs, and were the best in the biggest game of the year. So kudos to that defense. Alrighty, that's it for that. Next, we're gonna list our top tight ends. I'll go first. My top tight ends this year are Brock Bowers. He was hurt this year, and I think next year he's going to be a stud because I think they're going to get Mendoza. He's finally going to have a good quarterback play, and he's going to be a stud. Next, Trey McBride, 2 straight 1,000-yard seasons, tied for second in receiving touchdowns this year and 6 in yards. This is going to be a controversial one, and I think next year Pitts, he looked better this year, and I think with Stefanski and hopefully Penix, but maybe somebody else. Hopefully with Stefanski, he can get him involved more, and he can finally looked better this year, but finally the guy that's really a dog and one of the best tight ends. And second to last, Tyler Warren. Great guy this year, but the thing about him is the QB situation scares me more than he does. I think he's a great player, but it might be a Brock Bowers situation where the QB situation hurts him. And last, Colston Loveland, 60 yards a game his last 10, and then he had 185 yards and 2 touchdowns in his 2 playoff games. So I think he can crack the list next year, be a top 5 tight end. What's your thoughts?
yeah, my top tight ends. I'm gonna start off with Colston Loveland, and he led the Bears this year in receiving yards, and that's a stout receiving group that we have. And he was also had the most receiving yards by a rookie tight end in NFL history. So that tells you all the potential that he has on the football field. Next, I'm gonna go Tucker Craft, and this is the guy that we kind of forgot about this year. He was on pace for over 1,000 yards, over 12 touchdowns, and once he went down, the Packers' receiving game kind of went down this past season. But I think this guy, he would have been the second best tight end in my opinion this past season if he did not get hurt. So Tucker Craft, I'm expecting a huge bounce back season next year. Next, I'm gonna go Brock Bowers. He was also on pace for 1,000 yard season, but got injured. Did have over 1,000 yards in his first season, and he's had terrible quarterback play. So maybe he gets Mendoza in there and they get something rolling for next season. But we all know the physical tools that Brock Bowers has. And then yeah, like you said, Trey McBride, that's who's gonna top my list. He averaged over 73 yards per game this season, 11 touchdowns, and yeah, dude's just an absolute freak. So Trey McBride is definitely gonna round out my board as the top tight end going into the 2026-2027 season.
All righty, that's it for that. That's it for top five tight ends. Next, on to true or false. The first one, I mean, I don't think we talked about this guy because he wasn't the main bell cow, but true or false? Oh, well, list better. True or false? Kenneth Walker is a top five running back in the NFL. And I'm going to go false because we already listed our top five and he wasn't in it. But I think he needs to get more respect because Charbonnet was taking away some of his carries. They had a dual threat like running system. But I mean, he showed in this playoff run when he was the bell cow. I mean, there ain't a lot of better running backs with better numbers in 3 straight playoff games than that. So I think next year, depending on how long Charbonnet's injury is, like if he's the main bell cow, he should be one of the top fantasy running backs next year. And I mean, his stats may put him in the top 5 next year. So I'm going to go false, but I think he's got a chance to be the bell cow next year and put himself into the top 5 running backs in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm gonna also go false on Kenneth Walker. Yeah, like you said, we already named our top 5 running backs, but I think he's in that 7 to 10 range. And we saw this playoffs, like you mentioned, just great performances when Charbonnet was out. We know Charbonnet is one of the best backup running backs in the whole entire NFL. And Kenneth Walker is actually a free agent going into next season. So he already got his ring. So I wouldn't be too surprised if he chooses to go elsewhere. And if he's just that lead back with just kind of like a mid running back behind him, I think we saw the potential in the playoffs to get into that top 5 next season. So
Well, and it's gonna be one of them weird things this offseason because it feels like Seattle. It's like, oh, we won the championship, we want to bring him back, but with that playoff run, can he maybe get more money than they want to pay him, and then he goes somewhere else? We'll see.
um, yeah.
Next one. True or false? Matthew Stafford was the best QB in the league, and I'm going to go false because I think it's Josh Allen. But I mean, based on what he did to the Seahawks, you might just have to put him as the best QB in the league, and he definitely should have won MVP because I mean, you look at the Rams, the 3 games the Rams played against them, and then look at everybody else. It's kind of unbelievable how many points the Rams scored against that defense. I mean, really, the defense was legendary against everybody else, but then every time they played the Rams kind of went up and down the field on them. They scored 21, 27, and then 37. So, I mean, I'm going to go false just because I think Josh Allen is, but he's got to be considered with just alone what he did against the Seahawks. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm gonna go false, but he's definitely up there, especially what he's doing at the age of 38. It's quite incredible, and what this Rams offense did pretty much all year was crazy. If they had good weather, then the Rams were gonna put up points, and that stamped right there. But yeah, what Stafford did this year was phenomenal. He only had 8 interceptions, close to 50 touchdowns on the season at 38 years old, and yeah, I said in the middle of the season Drake May should have won it, but looking back at Stafford's numbers and he faced harder competition, I think Stafford definitely did deserve to win MVP. But I'm gonna go false. He's one of the best, but I do think Josh Allen right now is the best quarterback. So
All righty, next one. And last one. Last true or false. The real losers in the Super Bowl were Ravens fans and Geno Smith. And I'm going to go false because I doubt they were as crushed as Patriots fans. But, I mean, looking at the Ravens fans, you had that guy in the building 2 short years ago. He led led his team to the number 1 defense as a defensive coordinator. And then 2 years later, he wins the Super Bowl. And the same year he wins the Super Bowl, your coach gets fired. So, like, as a Ravens fan, you got to be looking at that like, that sucks. Maybe Jesse Minter's that guy. We'll see. He had a really good defense. And Geno Smith, I mean, you go from quarterbacking that team. When you quarterbacked them, they didn't make the playoffs. And then Sam Darnold comes in and they win the Super Bowl and your team gets the first pick, like yikes scenarios for both those teams. Like the real losers were the Patriots because that sucks to lose the Super Bowl, but Ravens fans and Geno Smith probably weren't thrilled with that result. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm gonna go false as well. But I mean, I think there's a lot of people that weren't too happy about this situation, including the Vikings, who let Sam Darnold walk out the door. I know we explained that yesterday on the pod with Aaron, but yeah, there's a lot of people that weren't happy with this decision. Obviously, yeah, the Ravens are up there too. Just had Donald and then Geno Smith just getting traded away this team when he just had one of the best seasons of his career. So yeah, there's a lot of people that weren't too thrilled with the Seahawks winning, but yeah, I'm gonna go false.
All righty, that's it for true or false. Let's see who was better, Philly. Who was better in the Super Bowl? Was the Seattle defense better or was the Seattle special teams better? And I think is it tough? I don't know who to pick because the defense scored a defensive touchdown, had 6 sacks. I mean, was all over Drake May, got turnovers, but then the special teams kicked 5 field goals, 2 extra points, and then down what 3 punts inside the 5 or 6. So I'm gonna have to say Seattle defense just because I don't even know why I'm saying it. They were both fantastic. Like if I could pick both, I would. But since I got to pick one, I'll pick Seattle defense. But that special teams unit, special teams don't get talked about enough. But in that game, it should have. Like I said, 5 field goals and 3 punts inside the 5. That's special. But I'm gonna go Seattle defense. Who do you think was better, Philly?
I'm gonna also go Seattle defense. Both played absolutely phenomenal through 3.5 quarters. Fred, we was literally debating whether the Super Bowl MVP was going to be Kenneth Walker or Myers. So,
Yep.
which is absolutely which is crazy. But yeah, defense, what they did to Drake May, I think was just phenomenal, and they scored a touchdown to top it off. So yeah, the Patriots can do anything really on that side of the ball until the till garbage time in the fourth quarter when they was already getting blown out. So I'll go with Seattle defense as well.
All righty. Next, we're gonna give our Mount Rushmore of running backs. I'll go first. The first head on my Mount Rushmore of running backs is Barry Sanders. I mean, guy won an MVP, All Pro 6 times, led the league in rushing 4 times, and had 15,269 yards. I mean, that's a Mount Rushmore career. Next, Walter Payton, sweetness. First team All Pro 7 times, won an MVP, Super Bowl champ, had 16,726 yards. Next one, Eric Dickerson, first team All Pro 5 times, led the league in rushing 4 times, and still to this day even with extra games, still has the most rushing yards in a season with 2,105. And next, or well, last on the list, Jim Brown. I mean, yeah, I led the league in rushing 8 times, uh, TDs 5 times, 3-time MVP, and made the All Pro 8 times. So Jim Brown, legendary. All those guys, legendary. That's my Mount Rushmore. What's yours, Philly?
Yeah, my Mount Rushmore of running backs is gonna start with at 4, Emmitt Smith. He has an MVP, 3-time Super Bowl champion, and then he still holds the most rushing yards and most rushing touchdowns of all time to this day. So Emmitt Smith will be my fourth guy on the list. 3, we're going Barry Sanders. Very short career, but he had an MVP, led the league in rushing 4 times, and then had 1,000+ yards in every single season for the Detroit Lions. So he's going to be 3. 2, Sweetness, the Bears, my guy. Run our only Super Bowl to Chicago, so I gotta salute him for that. And then he had 1,000+ yards every season that he was healthy as well. Was an absolute freak. And then yeah, 1, Jim Brown. People say he's one of the, if not the best football player of all time. He averaged over 100 yards per game in his career, 3-time MVP. So that guy was a beast as well.
All righty, that's it for ranking of the team or ranking of the Mount Rushmore. My fault. The last thing on today's show, you can go first on this one, Philly. What's your AFC rankings for next year?
Yeah, my AFC West rankings will start at 4, the Raiders. There's lots of improvements that need to be made on both sides. Obviously, we expect Fernando Mendoza to be their quarterback next season. They have some guys on offense like Brock Bowers, Genty, Trey Tucker that they can work with, but I think they need to focus on the defensive side of the ball. But yeah, this is a tough division, so I don't see them getting past any of the rest of these teams. 3, this might surprise some people. The Broncos. I know they just made the AFC Championship, but I think this is one of the other teams that kind of benefited from an easy schedule this year. And even in a lot of those games, they won one score games in against some bad teams. So I expect a little bit of regression. I think this was the year that you had to do it, and it was unfortunate that Bo Nix went down. But yeah, give me Broncos at 3, 2 Chargers, getting Mike McDaniel at the helm on offensive coordinator that should ignite Justin Herbert. And then 1, I expect the Chiefs to have a huge bounce back season. I know it's a lot of questions right now with Travis Kelce might not coming back, Andy Reid, but Mahomes should be healthy. As the reports I'm reading, by the start of the season, I think they go get some heavy hitters on the offensive side of the ball. I think Chiefs go back to where they've been the last few seasons.
All righty. My AFC West rankings for next year, I'm going to start at 4 as well. Give me the Raiders. They're going to get Mendoza, and I think he's a solid quarterback, but they still suck everywhere else. They're going to have 3 good players. They're going to have Mendoza, Genty, and Crosby. Everywhere else, they suck. They suck on offensive line, all defense. They really don't have a receiver anymore. They got rid of Myers. Like, they're just not going to be good next year. But I think they improve with Mendoza. Third on the list, I'm going to go Chiefs. I just don't see. I don't know. They were not good at all this year. Like, they're going to have to get a lot of help. And then even if Mahomes is back by the season, that means if he's back by the start of the regular season, that means he missed all training camp, all OTAs, and he's starting basically fresh and from scratch when the season starts. So I think he'll be rusty. And then if the rosters doesn't get a whole lot better, rusty for him won't result in a lot of wins. 2, I'm gonna go Broncos. I think you're right. I think they definitely regressed from this year, but I think they're solid enough to win probably 10 games, maybe 11, and finish second in the AFC West. And I'm doing it. Give me the Chargers at 1. They get both tackles back. That was their big weakness, was the offensive line, and it was the tackles in general. Everywhere else, the defense was awesome. They have receivers. They got Justin Herbert. They got Amari and Hampton. Like, I think they're going to be fine. So I think they get their tackles back and they win the AFC West next year. All righty. That's it for this part of the show. We're going to throw you to our interview with Aaron, the Vikings fan. And hello there, everyone. We'd like to welcome you into the first edition interview on the Philly and Fred show. We're going to be doing a series where we interview people we know and get their take on their favorite teams. Today, Aaron's Mount Rushmore of running backs and just what they want to do this season, or what do they want to do next season, some of their favorite players, favorite teams, and most gut-wrenching losses. And I'd like you to introduce yourself today.
What's up, y'all? I'm Aaron Sexton, Vikings fan for some weird reason.
And also, you ought to heard, luckily he didn't do this interview last season because he would have trolled Philly's team and said they were not any good. But luckily there's no evidence of that, so it's okay. So he's going to seem like a smart guy based on this episode. Hey, there's no evidence. I could be lying.
None.
Who knows? But already early in the episode, we gave our Mount Rushmore of running backs. What is your Mount Rushmore of running backs?
All right. Greatest running back of all time. No doubt about it. Barry Sanders.
Like it?
Definitely got to be Barry. Carried the Lions. Followed up with Emmett. Because I can't put Emmett at 1. He holds the record. Nobody's going to beat the record. But we ain't seen an O-line like that ever in our life.
Yeah.
Come in 3, no matter how much I hate to say I put a Bear on a list. Never put a Bear on an all-time list. Got to be Sweetness. I mean, Walter Payton. Got to be. Then 4th, No, I got to do it. Adrian Peterson. When's the last time you seen a running back
yeah.
off of ACL tear run for 2,000 yards, catch like almost 400 with a mid O-line and Christian Ponder at quarterback?
Yeah, that's pretty good. And back to Walter Payton, it is crazy because he is massive. He is like 6'4", 6'3", like 220 pounds, and he got called sweetness. Like,
Yeah.
normally when you're that big, you're called the fridge or you're called like a tank. Nah, he called him sweetness. That means he was
Yeah.
big, could run you over, and he had them sweet juke moves. But
yeah.
hey, I like that list. There's nothing I can argue with that list. The only one I could maybe say something, but I can't really, is Peterson. Because like numbers wise, I don't know. But like watching him play, dude, there's not been 5, 6 better running backs than that guy ever play the game. I mean,
It's the eye test.
yeah.
I'm not putting Jim Brown in there. I can't put a dude
Really?
from the 50s.
Oh, okay. So we got so basically, do you think that about basketball? Wilt can't go in there either?
First off, if Wilt would have scored 100, it would have been footage. All right?
No,
cameras.
That's fair.
A piece of paper that proved nothing.
No, that's fair. Because it's funny. I see those all the time. I see videos from like the 1940s, and it'll be something to do that has nothing to do with sports, and they're like, oh, so they got a video of this, but they ain't got no video of Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game. So no, you might be onto something there.
Insane.
That feels like birds are like cameras. Like birds aren't real. That's what that feels like. Like Wilt's 100-point game, it's not real. People just say it, and it's like, oh no. Like, yeah, he scored 100 points. He put up that little stupid paper. That definitely means he scored 100 points.
Don't prove nothing.
But to be fair, like, why would they do that, though? Why would he take that picture and say for years he scored 100 points? I'm not saying you're lying that he might not have scored it, but I wonder what their reasoning would be behind
that. I don't know.
Guessing fish.
Definitely does.
No, like, when I've seen videos of 1930s and I don't see that, it does, like, come on, man. Ain't no way. Somebody had to have a tape recorder. Somebody had to have something there. It can be in black and white. I don't care. The basketball can be in black and white. If it goes in that hoop 50 times, hey, that's 100 points.
No. We got to figure out other games that season were on camera.
Oh, if other games from that season come out, nah, he may not even scored 60, 70. Like, honestly, Kobe's got the scoring record. Yeah,
he might.
Hey, I like that conversation went into that conversation. I like that. But next, Aaron, Vikings fan, what have been your favorite players watching the Vikings growing up?
All right, I'm going to start here. Teddy Bridgewater is my favorite Vikings player of all time.
Teddy Two Gloves.
You know, didn't really have a committed fandom in the NFL. Watched Teddy get drafted. I thought Louisville is never getting a better quarterback than Teddy Bridgewater. Louisville will never see something like we saw with Teddy in my lifetime. And then Lamar Jackson came. So Teddy's number one. 2, probably the greatest wide receiver in the NFL right now. Passes the eye test. May not have the stats, but Justin Jefferson. And then 3 is a toss-up, really. I mean, you got Hitman Harry out of Notre Dame every year at the Vikings, just consistency after consistency. Or you got to go with that 1-year flash, 2-year flash with Xavier Rhodes. I mean, when's the last time we've seen a lockdown corner like really go up against the schedule he went up against and lock every single wide receiver one down like that?
Well, and then not be good shortly after.
No, it'd be terrible.
That's the much more confusing part. Like I've never seen a corner be that good for that stretch and then just completely fall off the map. Like the other dudes that have locked
career and fight on the field, and then the next year he got burnt every route.
Yeah, because you just like as a Vikings fan, you were probably like, oh no, he's somewhere. He's gonna catch up to that. We seen it last year, and every time it's like, oh no, that's another touchdown. Oh, he got burnt again. They're paving a road on us with how many yards they're getting on their receptions right here. But hey, had a couple good years. Can I tell you my favorite Vikings player ever?
Who is it?
Jared Allen.
Jared Allen.
I'm not gonna lie, that was
Vikings song right there.
Watching him come off the edge, especially when he had that celebration right there, and he always had the Texas hat, and he had the horns on his car. I don't know. There was something about him. Like, he was like a showman, and he had, like, I think 116. He had over 115 sacks.
Oh yeah.
He was
Yeah,
a
had
showman. He showed too much. When he accepted that jacket, his pants split in half.
Oh, well, I didn't see that. And knowing how big he is, I can imagine what that looked like.
Well, he had underwear on, Fred.
Well, being that big, you might have seen it through that. That's not. It wouldn't shock me if I still, whatever. I mean, that's a big man. We'll move on. Next, what was your favorite single season for the Vikings when it comes to a team?
Single season, got to be 2022. All right. Made no sense. 13 wins, negative 3-point differential. Every game was close. Probably one of the better fourth quarter teams the NFL has ever seen. You jump up, you're setting like bottom of the pack in offensive efficiency for 3/4 of the game. In fourth quarter, you're the second most efficient offense in the NFL. I mean, you get, what is it? You get the best fourth quarter comeback, or best comeback in general ever that year. You get the Bills comeback, which was, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I mean, it was a heart attack year. Every single game, it was like, man, we suck. Fourth quarter, just sit there and watch, stressed.
It sounds like the Bears this year.
It looked so similar. That Bengals game, I was like, this just feels like 2022 Vikings.
Yeah.
But were you honest enough with yourself to like know going to the playoffs, like, oh, we have like we're not that good, but we keep winning? Or were you like, hey, this may be a team of destiny, I think we can go to the Super Bowl? What was your thought?
I think I was somewhere in between realistic and, team of destiny. I thought to myself, there's no way Daniel Jones and the Giants are beating us.
Out of all
No
the
way.
teams. Yeah.
But I definitely thought that we'd get knocked out later on. And, that happened. We played Daniel Jones into a contract.
I was going to say, hilariously, you screwed the Giants over by losing to them in the playoffs because he played well. They paid him $40 million a year, and then they sucked. So, I mean, if you look at it, both teams lost that day.
For sure.
One team paid their quarterback $40 million, and the other team lost a playoff game in the year they won 14 wins. So, no one won that one. But, hey, sometimes that happens.
Hey, it worked out for Daniel.
Oh, yeah. Hilariously, he sucked with the Giants, and then he found – but the guy can't catch a break. He finally plays well, and then he tears his Achilles. That's what –
he stopped at quarterback school in the NFL. Can't produce a starter, but can produce other team starters.
Well, yeah. I mean, New York just does that. New York yeah. Yeah.
We had him, Sam Darnold, and they all left.
Oh my God. Well, and we'll get to him a little later in the show. What are some of your favorite individual wins? Not like in that season, but just in general. Growing up being a Vikings fans, what been from your favorite games to witness?
Man, I tell you what, I don't have many early on. I guess the earliest one would be Minneapolis Miracle. I mean, that's the most basic. I remember what I was doing. I remember where I was. Sitting there playing a game of poker, like an 8-3 offsuit. I was sitting there looking at it, folded, looked at the TV, and saw him catch it. And I left. I left the place I was playing poker at. I was like, I got to get somewhere. I got to go home. I just got to celebrate.
I'm not gonna lie. That's great, like, memory, because most people say they remember where they were, as in they remember the house or maybe their room. I don't think anyone's ever produced their 8-3 poker hand on the day of moment of the catch. That's impressive. It meant a lot, it looks like.
Low on chips, fold, look at that. I'm hyped. I'm out.
Oh, so you went from being low on chips, team going to lose a playoff game, to actually, I don't care about poker anymore. My team just won on the Minneapolis Miracle.
No
chip.
Yeah. No. And that's how you know it's a crazy play. When you got a name to it, that means something crazy happened and your team made a miraculous play, and that's what happened.
Oh, yeah. Besides that, I guess I have 3 other games listed, and we don't have to talk about one of them too much. Bills versus Vikings. I think that's one of the most electric games that's happened in the NFL the past couple of years. I mean, you got first half, James Cook looks good. You got Cook versus Cook. Stephon Diggs has that absolutely incredible snag over the middle of the field. You're thinking to yourself, that's one of the better catches you've ever seen. I mean, that's great. That's probably one of the better catches that season. Then you get to last half, the second half, you get Kirk kind of dialing in, Dalvin Cook looking great again, and then you get Justin Jefferson, which we don't have to argue about this. Greatest, maybe second greatest catch of all time. I mean, what type of catches instantly your entire uniform gets shipped off to the Football Hall of Fame right when the game ends. That one was up there. I remember I was actually at Bratcher's with Bo. We were sitting over there. Josh Allen had the ball on the 1 yard line. Bo walked over and tapped me on the shoulder. He's like, "It's all right, bud. It's a good game." It's not over. You can't kneel it. Can't kneel it yet. It's not over yet. See Pat Pete and Eric Kendricks get up, start freaking out. That was good. Yeah.
Well,
and then Colts come back.
got to bring that one in there.
33-0. I mean,
that was crazy.
I mean, be honest. Did you have the game on still?
I did.
Did you? Okay.
I remember somebody called me. I forget who called me, but somebody called me and they're like, "This is terrible." And I was like, "Yeah." I tried taking that, couldn't. And I remember not Madison, KJ Osborne kept on catching the ball and like standing up and flexing on people. And I was like, "What are you doing?"
33. Yeah.
What are you doing? And then Bengals versus Vikings 2025.
That was a beatdown.
I mean, beat down, the first perfect defensive game we've ever seen out of Isaiah Rodgers. I mean, I was watching that with Zach Crockett. Zach Crockett looked at me and started screaming, throwing his phone. What are y'all teaching these people? Why are they Superman punching every play and making us fumble? I mean, that was good for me because I've only been to 2 Vikings games in person. Both of them against the Bengals, and those are on my heartbreaks. So.
Oh, yeah. Oof. Those going to games and your team losing in heartbreaking fashion, there's nothing worse. And like you said earlier, I think that most fan bases have that pet peeve of stop doing that dumb celebration when you're down 33-0. But, I mean, maybe if it sparks a comeback, but I just talking about that. Doing that, yes. I look at that the same way I look at the corner flexing and doing the no-fly zone seatbelt celly when the guy overthrows it by 40 yards. Or they get a pass interference.
That looks like.
Huh?
Me and Philly got a similar view here because I guarantee he feels it. Nothing drives me more insane than when a quarterback overthrows a wide receiver and you see Keshawn Nixon from Packers just sitting there doing that even though it's trash. Garbage. Love spamming it.
Valentine was doing the same thing. Jesus Christ.
Insane.
Yeah. I know.
Well,
I know the feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they play a hard position, but no, you still don't. And then they'll do it sometimes when they get the defensive pass interference, and they'll do the replay, they'll do the seatbelt silly, and then they'll throw the hands up, and then you look at the replay, and you're like, well, you punched him in the face and in the nuts. So, yeah, I think that's warranted of a pass interference, if I'm being honest. But, yeah, sure, go ahead and think it's not, I guess. But next, all right, if we're going to do great wins, got to do this one. What has been a couple of your most gut-wrenching losses?
I think you all can tell what the first one's going to be. For me, during my fandom, the dreams and nightmare game, as I like to call it. Come off the Minneapolis Miracle, go into the Link. The Eagles just blow you out after that type of game. Sitting there doing karaoke to Dreams and Nightmare at halftime. I can't even see Andrew Sykes anymore without him spamming the song. That one's up there for sure. This one would have been real early on, but Seahawks wide left, Blair Walsh.
Oh, no. I forgot about that, honestly, until you just mentioned that.
Yeah, I think that should have set me up to know what I was getting into.
Well, because what was that, a 20-something yard field goal, right?
Cake. Chip shot.
Yeah, I don't care if it's cold. You got to make this. And he missed it. That happens. It's tough.
Wide left.
Yeah, like wasn't close either. That's what's crazy. It's like from that distance,
That
you would
old.
think like, oh, everything has to be close. Not that one.
I've never kicked a field goal in my life, and I think I could have got closer.
Well, you could at least kicked it straight. Maybe not high enough, but like
I don't even know if I can kick it straight, but I think I can kick it straighter than that.
oh yeah. I mean, that's a hook. Like I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know if he mishit it or he was just that nervous. He don't got a killer instinct. I don't know. It was something. But yeah, that was a horrible one.
Yeah. Then you got the two Bengals losses back to back in Cincy in person, only 2 games. You got the overtime thriller the first time around. Dalvin Cook fumbled somehow, some way. And then you got the next one. And Fred, we've talked about this before.
Oh no.
Marching down the field. T. Higgins sent it to overtime with that crazy Space
Oh
Jam
yeah.
stretch.
We have talked about this.
Then we march down the field in overtime. Nick Mullins in at quarterback. We need 1 yard on 3rd down, and we do a tush push. And who do we line up behind Nick Mullins? Brandon Powell, who is 5'10" and 180 pounds soaking wet. When we had T.J. Hawkinson, C.J. Ham, all these people, and we line up Brandon Powell behind him to push him. Then on 4th down, when we obviously don't get it, what do? The same exact play.
Do you think?
There for sure.
Do you think like what? But I would just have loved to hear that conversation between the coach and that receiver being like, "Wait, you want me to do that? Wait, what about our backup? What about one of our backup tackles or our massive tight end or even a bigger receiver than me? I'm small, guys. Why are we putting like I can't push nothing? I bench 135 pounds.
Not only that, if you go back and look, I think Ty Chandler's had like 130 yards. Like Ty Chandler, literally, that was the game that who was their defensive tackle that was just absolutely insane over the middle for those couple years?
I know you're talking about. I can't think of his name though. No,
Turner
I don't think so.
I don't know. No, but he's insane. And he tore his ACL in the first quarter. Ty Chandler wide open holes over the middle of the line the entire game. Jordan Addison was out there with like 130 yards and 2 touchdowns or something crazy, snagging balls off the toe of his cleats. And then Brandon Powell, bring him in wide receiver 4, 5'10". Get in here, start pushing.
Well, that's also one of my favorite things about the tush push is like everyone looks at it like, oh man, Philly can run it. And it's like, well, your quarterback doesn't weigh 240 pounds. You don't have a 230-pound receiver, and you don't have their center guard. Like you don't have their line. You have nothing of what they have, but we'll run it anyways. It should work, right? And then you throw a 180-pound receiver out there, and it doesn't go well, and everyone puts their hands up like, what happened? It's like, well, I mean, you sent a guy that's 180 pounds soaking wet. That's a problem. I would never send that guy in the middle. Yeah. Any other ones you could think of, or is that kind of?
I just Vikings Giants. You just back and forth. Not really a great game for either team, and then you get. I mean, Daniel Jones looked good, but then you get on that last drive, and Kirk decides to throw 8 yards short of the stick on 4th down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and he threw it to who did he throw it to? He threw it to a tight end too, didn't he? Yeah, like it wasn't even like it was Jefferson or Addison. Like, oh, maybe they'll make someone miss. Like he threw it to Hawkins with a guy right, and he wasn't wide open.
No, he wasn't. He had somebody on him in the flat. What made it even worse is I decided to watch it with a Packers fan. I watched it with Jake at Jake's house.
Oh no!
So like the second he gets tackled,
mistake.
I just put the shoes on and leave.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all are better than me. That's one thing I can't watch. Like I don't even like watching Steelers games with like other people, but like you throw in a division rival. Like I guess now I kind of have to because Kendall. But I mean, some games I want to kill him. But I mean, the Steelers were 2-0 against the Ravens. But yeah, like watching it with the rival, a playoff game, I could do that because I know they'd look at me and they'd say something. Oh yeah, Kurt, you did it too. That's what I'm saying. Like both of y'all are better than me because there's no way I'm going to a buddy of mine's house who's a fan of a rival. Yeah, Philly, tell him about What happened when you did that? Which it was good for you, I
Well,
guess.
Tanner behaved better than I thought he would. So the first game when we played the Packers, when we was down big, came back, ended up losing by a touchdown when Caleb threw the interception in the end zone. So I stayed for the whole game for that. We lost. It kind of sucked. Second game, I ended up staying home. That's when we came back, won. And then the third time in the playoffs, I go during halftime. Or no, I'm sorry. The second game, I apologize. Go to Tanner's house during halftime. We're getting blown out. Forget what the score was. Something to 3. And I go home during halftime. And then that's when we started coming back. And then we won on that Hail Mary bomb to DJ Moore and OT. So, yeah, both times when I left Tanner's house, when the Bears ended up playing well. So yeah.
No more
Yeah.
watching the Tanners.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
see, and Tanner's a fool, and he's a Packers fan, so yeah, I'm not going. I'd physically harm Tanner if I watched the game with him, a Steelers game, especially the way. I mean, it's just with the way we
Isn't
are.
it crazy that the division
Oh
do
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Because I mean, me and Fred got the London game or whatever.
Oh,
Vikings
so
and
peaceful,
Steelers.
so peaceful.
He came over. I made breakfast for us.
Oh
We got
wow.
some mimosas. We were
Yeah,
chilling
we
there
good.
watching football.
Yeah,
Having fun.
it felt like we were out at
I
brunch.
couldn't do that.
What a guy.
I
Yeah,
couldn't do that.
it
Nobody
just
in
felt.
the NFC.
Yeah, we were just at brunch, mimosas, food, and football, and we were just so polite. I don't think we said a single. We almost was like, man, I
Polite.
can't believe your team did that. Oh wow, man, that was dumb of your team, but woof. That's all it was the whole game. There was no like, yeah, y'all suck. None of that. I don't think either of us uttered you suck.
No,
We're gonna kill y'all. It was just like,
no.
oh,
I think we were calling out our teams. Like we'd be like,
yeah,
"Man,
Yeah,
the
your own
Vikings suck."
team.
yeah.
Did
Oh, there
y'all
we go again.
Fred, did you
Steelers
think
not throwing it in the middle.
did you think Ramsey pulled his hammy on that celly?
Oh yeah, because that's
You really
but see, actually, but I don't know though, because I actually know. Thinking of it back then, I actually don't think because I think someone just did that silly like a week or two before that, and I thought they got hurt, and I said, "Oh my god!" And then when Jalen Ramsey did it, I said, "I ain't gonna lie. I don't care if he is hurt. I ain't falling for it again. Like if he's hurt, that sucked, but
But
I ain't
he
falling for it."
didn't he hurt it though, like a week or two after?
No, the moron he did it, and he was like, "Oh, funny silly," and then like the next week he pulled it, and he was out for 3 weeks. Which I mean, I guess that was a
Yeah.
good thing because he went to safety after that. And we were way like he was horrible at corner, but we were way better when he went to safety. But yeah, he did that selling. Yeah, we ain't got to speak on the Steelers. We know what they're going to be 9-8, 10-7. We ain't got to speak on them. Next.
Hey,
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, until you see it every year and you know the outcome, but yet they still pull you in to give you confidence. Alrighty, Aaron, we're going to end with this. What do you want the Vikings to do in the free agency and in the draft this year, upcoming?
All right, save the quarterback for last. Keep Naylor if possible. I don't know. It's hard because I feel like a lot of people don't know about other teams like wide receiver threes, unless you're like the Bears, where it's like you got DJ Moore, who's been around for so long, Roma Dunze, who looked good, and Luther Burden, who showed flashes.
Well, see, this is
So,
why
like,
we wanted to do this because that's the thing. Like I would never know if the Vikings, like how important their art, like wide receiver 3 is, or how good he is, or to keep him or trade him or get rid of him. Like that's why we had this. Like we had this idea because we were like, oh, people of their team, like they know their team's better than anyone, so we're gonna have them come on here
I love
explain
Naylor.
everything about their team, what they need. Maybe this guy's good. Maybe they need to get rid of this guy. But like, yeah, it's kind of the idea behind this. But yeah, continue.
Yeah, definitely keep Naylor because one, he looked good. He's definitely got a connection with McCarthy. If that's gonna be your young quarterback, you know, you got to keep whoever's gonna help him out there. It's contract year, so he might get paid, but really you got to keep him mostly as insurance for Jordan Addison. I mean, what is it? 3 straight off seasons of trouble with the law. It looks like he's gonna win this case. It looks like he got dropped. I won't talk on that too much. Hopefully it doesn't. But you know,
Wow, an NFL player
keep him.
winning a court case. Wow. That doesn't happen all the time.
Pretty impressive.
Nothing new.
Pretty
Got a
impressive.
good track record.
The next section of what I think they should do, I call it get rid of the old heads. All right. Start with Hargraves. Javon Hargraves had a decent season, looked good, just getting older and eating up a lot of contract space. When really you got like Taki Tiamani and Jalen Redmond and all these other guys that are coming up that look good, like Stills that we got out of, like Jalen Redmond, who I'm going to talk about in a second, comes in, looks amazing, looks like he should be a starter, and we got him from the XFL. Like, I'd much rather have him on a contract than Javon Hargraves at, 30, 31?
Yeah.
Something like that. Get rid of Aaron Jones. Love Aaron Jones. But, I mean, it's just getting to that age cliff area where I don't know how much longer he's going to produce. Jordan Mason looks decent. Probably needs somebody else back there. But Ryan Kelly needs to retire from the NFL. All right. I not many people like really pay attention to it because everybody always hears about Tua or, all these people. Ryan Kelly had I believe, his 6th concussion this year.
Yes, for the love of
It's
God.
getting to the point where, like, you got kids and wife at home. Go enjoy your life. You might.
Yeah, like I get these guys love football, but do they not hear the horror stories of old football players just absolutely losing their mind? Like after 6, we need to have a conversation. Like, hey, you got a family, you got to quit it. Like you got to stop playing football. That's too many.
Got to get out of there. And then this one hurts to say. Get rid of T.J. Hawkinson.
Oh,
not doing
get
that
rid
great.
of him.
Eating up a lot of contract. Big cap hit this year. And just the last 2 years, I mean, he's either hurt or he's just not playing up to expectations. His first couple years, he looked great. Looked good at the Lions. He's just not living up to that no more. So get rid of him. Like I said, extend Jalen Redmond, doing good in the middle of the line. Extend Brian O'Neill. You extend Brian O'Neill. I mean, we got we got Christian Darrisaw, who when healthy is one of the best left tackles out there. And Brian O'Neill, who's also a really good tackle. Need to just lock him up.
Well, and we just seen how important a left
center.
tackle is. We just seen how important how important left tackle is in this playoff run with the Patriots. I mean, how many sacks did Will Campbell give up? That left side of the line, honestly, the guard and the tackle May was getting hit from the blind side every time. So people knew how important it was, but a playoff run like that really puts it into words like, oh my God, you have got to get a stud left tackle if you want to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. And I'll bring that back up in a minute when we talk about quarterback. Sign a center. Cade Mays is out there. I don't want a top the line center. I don't need a Linderbaum. I don't need anything like that. Somebody who can get in there and produce and just be decent. Because, I mean, we have the rest of the infrastructure and the O-line. Just got to fill the holes. Sign a safety. Like I said earlier, Harrison Smith, consistency after consistency, but he needs to just call it. At some point, you got too old, bud.
Yeah.
Just call
Especially
it.
at safety.
Retire on a good side. Don't come back. And you know it, Fred. Me and you both know it well. Like Pat Pete. Pat Pete should have just called it.
Yeah.
He was ahead of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's what I want him to do. And then finally, they fired Kwesi, which I love because if you look at his drafts, I mean, we got Addison, Naylor. That's it.
Well, and let's ask
pieces.
Yeah, let's ask you this question because we had this question on the show. Do you think the Sam Darnold thing was the main key, or do you think it was a combination of not bringing him back? Because let's be honest, having a Sam Darnold level quarterback for $30 million, $33 million a year, I mean that's a damn good deal. Like, because look at the other guys. I mean, dude, Tua and Trevor Lawrence and Kyler Murray getting paid $50 million. You got Sam Darnold for 33 a year. So do you think it was mostly Sam Darnold or a combination of missed picks and Sam Darnold?
So I was going to talk about that with quarterback. Before I move on to that real quick, just a quick hire Rob Brzezinski. That's our interim GM. He's been in the league since the 90s. He's known as like the best cap guy in the NFL. Hire him and just let him do it for a year. You got Kevin O'Connell and Brian Flores, 2 head coaches. Just let them draft their players. Brian Flores will go find his freaks.
Yeah.
He'll find the dudes that work in his system, be up on the edge and then drop back into coverage the next play.
Yeah.
But quarterback. Sam, my big thing was Sam. And I've said this, and it sounds like cope. It might be a little bit of cope. Who knows? Sam Darnold's not winning that Super Bowl on the Vikings roster.
Fair.
Sam Darnold, at one point during the Super Bowl, and this is not to take away, because, I mean, he had 0 turnovers in the Super Bowl, or in the playoffs.
I was going to say playoffs.
He had a really good game performance all throughout the playoffs. He didn't mess up, and he helped move the ball. But, we don't have a Kenneth Walker. We don't have somebody averaging over 100 yards a game in the playoff run. We also don't have a coach who runs the ball barely at all. We don't have that O-line. And nobody has that defense. I mean, that defense, I mentioned to somebody earlier, that could go down as one of the better defenses we see.
Oh, in this era with the rules and the I believe, I can see it.
Yeah. So Sam's not winning in Minnesota. And I don't mean that as a cope of Sam isn't good enough. I mean it as the Vikings aren't as good as the Seahawks.
But do you think though that only paying him $33 million you could build a roster? Maybe not that good because I mean that roster was dominant, but a Super Bowl roster with only paying your quarterback $30 million. That's really more of the question I have. Because you obviously
not right.
Okay.
Not right now. Maybe in a couple of years or we probably would have made changes because the entire free agency would have changed because I don't know that we would have been able to really convince Isaiah Rodgers to come for the amount of money we would have had to give him. And then we would have been able to get Hargraves, Jonathan Allen, Ryan Kelly, Will Fries. Who else? We extended Josh Oliver, extended Josh Metellus. We have all these, and we traded for Jordan Mason. Our roster, if we extend Sam Darnold, looks a lot different than it did.
Fair.
So, I think that because all the reports come out and say that we tried, and I've started to highly believe we definitely tried to keep Sam. But, with the roster you're trying to build, having a young quarterback behind him, that's not the play for us right now.
Yeah.
I don't think that would have been the right move.
But I will say though that position, the quarterback position has got more GMs fired and extended than any other. Because look in San Francisco. Do you think John Lynch is getting an extension if Brock Purdy doesn't become what he's become? Because remember, they drafted Trey Lance in that draft. And he's played on 2 different teams already.
Yep.
So gave up, traded up to get him. They were Shanahan wanted Mac Jones. The GM goes with Trey Lance. So I mean, you look at a situation like that, you're like, oh, this 6th round Mr. Irrelevant draft pick probably saved the GM's job. So I mean, that happens when you, as a GM, all the other things, you can kind of hit or miss on. But if you can hit on the quarterback, you're going to have a job most likely.
Yeah, and that's the thing that they keep on saying about the Vikings. So apparently, all the stuff that's coming out is Kevin O'Connell was like, I'm in on McCarthy. Even a phone call just leaked from McVay, where McVay's calling him and is like, hey, we want to trade up to 11 because we want Brock Bowers. Bad. And Kevin O'Connell goes, can't have it. We're trading up to 10 to get McCarthy. That's our guy. So, Kevin O'Connell wanted him. But Kwesi, he also told Kwesi apparently, and this is what's coming out, the new stuff. We want McCarthy, but you got to keep Sam Darnold. So, I mean, if I'm saying, because they're probably offering lower than 30, 33, whatever he got, and they're probably only doing a weird amount of years. I'm saying I'm taking the money and running while I can.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. That is hilarious, though, that situation, because like that's he goes there, and literally the only thing I mean, they like everybody just got older, but like Sam Darnold just replaced Geno Smith, and they just turn into that. Like that's, and then Geno Smith goes to the Raiders, and they get the number 1 pick, and they look horrible. Which yeah, that's. But I get what you're saying though. Like the Vikings,
it was weird.
Yeah, the Vikings paying him what they would have had to pay him wouldn't have the roster they have. So yeah, that's a fair response to that.
Yeah, again, I don't want it to sound like coach. Sam's great. The Vikings roster isn't good enough to help him with like the Seahawks did.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then finally, bring in quarterback competition. You know, he ain't gonna get any better with. Carson Wentz ain't even under contract this year. He ain't gonna get any better with Max Brosmer sitting behind him.
No.
Bring in
Max Brosmer is teaching him how to be a pro.
Mac Jones for a second looks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I like the idea. People keep on talking about Kyler Murray. If he gets cut or what he's worth in a trade, I wouldn't mind that. Because you're only on the hook for like 2 years or a year, 2 years with this contract. Mac Jones, if they're willing to get rid of him, Malik Willis, Geno Smith, all these older guys that like are just good enough to threaten your job.
Yeah.
That's what he needs. But like my big thing with JJ, and I know we said we'd talk about this. I was the biggest JJ McCarthy believer.
You were?
In the world. And Fred can attest to that, Philly.
You were.
Loved McCarthy. Loved him. Here's where I'm at now with him. When he was healthy, he showed enough flashes to have hope. Now, big part on the when healthy, because the best ability is availability.
Yes,
he wasn't available too often.
Right.
With the Bears game, and I hate to bring this up, Philly.
Hey, it's okay.
21 straight in the fourth quarter. Looked dominant.
Seems like 4 years ago.
I hate that his first quarterback passes to Nashawn Wright, who the Vikings signed off their practice squad, then gave up, and he turned into this. No, Nashawn Wright's insane. He's so good. Then, what is it? I think this stat line helps put it in perspective. I think a lot of people don't know this about McCarthy before they go and say, like make jokes, call him 9, all that. You got to take it with a grain of salt because he did play kind of a, weak schedule during this stretch. But in his final 4 games, he was 5th in EPA per play. So proving that he could really move the ball down the field and score. He was 3rd in success rate in the NFL, so he consistently kept the offense on schedule. 2nd in big-time throw percentage. And then 6th in EPA and CPOE. So he's both efficient and more accurate than they ever expected.
Yeah, that was that.
So like 4 of the main look at.
Yeah, because I remember we talked about it on the podcast because we ain't got. We had the 9 jokes and we had all those in there. But ain't gonna lie, when he played this 3-game stretch, we said it though. We said like, hey, don't look now, but I mean he's playing good. Like, say what you want. The memes are funny. They put his face on any quarterback that doesn't play good now. But I mean, 3-4 game stretch where he was efficient.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah. He was on time. He was accurate. He was hitting the right reads. Like he looked confident out there. I was like, he looks different. But then he got hurt again. Then it was like, well, crap. He finally looked good, and then he gets another injury again, which was the worst part.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to fix him.
I think he definitely has the potential. Like you said.
Yeah.
When he came back us on the first game of the season, I'm like, what the heck? Like, he hadn't done nothing through 3 quarters and then looked kind of like Tom Brady. And then I know college is different from NFL, but he showed he could win in college, even though he had some stud running backs, good coach behind him. But I think I think he has all the tools. I know Lions had a down year, but he still beat them twice. Looked good in those games. I'm not writing it off for JJ. I remember as we talked before the show, Aaron, like Caleb Williams, he probably had the most memes about him his rookie year, and then he showed this year, second year with the right system that he got things right. So I think
Yeah.
JJ can kind of revamp his career, his short career so far. So
Yeah. My big thing is, I'm not saying he's gonna be good. I'm just saying he ain't done.
yeah.
And that's the same thing with And I'll be honest, I wrote Caleb off so early.
Hmm.
I wrote Caleb off so
But you're
early,
also a
and
Vikings
now I'm
fan,
getting
though.
the biggest taste of my own medicine. I think it's gonna be fun going in next year with just no expectations.
Yeah. And as bad as maybe y'all looked at times, y'all still came third in this division. So I feel like are never at like the bottom of the barrel of the NFC North like ever. If
Nah.
they are like if they finish fourth, then they bounce back the next year. Like so, yeah.
Yeah, the crazy way to put it, I mean, we were I think I could be wrong. We were 2.5 games out of winning the NFC North.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
At one point, yeah.
it sounds crazy to say, like, but we weren't far off of it, and that's back to the McCarthy and the O-line thing. Can't play football, you ain't gonna win games.
Right.
Well, and Aaron, which game was it? Was it the Packers game where y'all had the lead and then you gave up the big kick return and they kicked the field goal?
I know what you're talking about. No, it wasn't. Man, why can't I think about this?
Because if you win that, you make the playoff.
Yeah, we gave up like
you finished 10-7.
we gave up like a 60-yard field goal return where it's like, what is this?
Yeah,
Whoa.
and if you win that game, you finish 10-7, and you beat the Packers out for their spot.
Yeah.
So yeah,
They
that's
had us
like
beat too. The second game where we won on that game-winning field goal.
wait, was it the Bears?
It could have
Oh
been
wait,
the
yeah,
Bears.
it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say. I thought for some reason I thought it was the Packers. It was the Bears. That's who it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when Duvernay
Bears.
had the return, when we won on a game-winning field goal in Minnesota.
Well,
So I guess we both
because I think
came
like
back on each other.
you beat the Bears, and then you beat I think like the Packers or something, and then I think it's like we're half a game out from winning the North.
Yeah,
or something like
that's crazy.
Like that, I feel like that's the thing is like you see, and this is where McCarthy needs to change. You see McCarthy making I call him 9 and like doing all that and saying I was going to boom Kirby Joseph on the sideline after you just been hurt for 2 weeks, like all this stuff. But like if he don't talk like that or act like a fool and just stay healthy, people might be talking a little bit different about him.
Yeah. No, once you make like if you talk or do anything extra, if you don't ball out, people are coming for you. Because I mean, people do it when they do commercials. Players will do commercials, and if the guy doesn't play well, they're like, "Oh wow, this guy should focus more time on football, not commercials." It's like, well, I mean, he made $2 million doing that, but I mean, yeah, sure. And it was a 30-minute commercial, but yeah, once you do anything outside sports and you don't play well, they're coming for you every time.
Yeah. And then, like what Philly said, like, I think part of the reason he was so hated coming in was you go to look at college, like, if handing the ball off works, why are you going to stop? So,
Yeah.
But then, like, you look at his stats, he's the highest third down pass completion quarterback in all of college football this season, or junior.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
well, but that's no fun, though. Like, they want the big 6'5", 230, throws the ball 80 yards, scrambles around like they don't want the guy that plays on time that's accurate. Like that's no fun to the viewer. That guy's not going to be a stud. He's not Mahomes or Josh Allen.
And speaking of guys built like that, another guy that I would love the Vikings bring in, go get Anthony Richardson.
Yeah,
I don't think that he really even has anything in the tank. But if a team in the NFL is going to make him good, it's got to be the quarterback factory.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're producing decent quarterbacks for everyone else. Let's just bring AR in. Kevin O'Connell tried to trade up like 3 first-round picks to go get him. Thank God he didn't. But like, Go get him and just see what he's worth.
Yeah, because I think the way they ended the year playing with Riley Leonard, they're probably going to, like, I assume that's who they go forward with. So, yeah, I mean, they might give him to you for pretty cheap at this point. Yeah, that's not, I didn't even think about that option. That is a pretty good option, though.
Oh, I'd love it.
I think with AR, I think it would just have to be the right fit. I think, his time in Indianapolis is done, but with the right fit, he could be a solid backup.
Yeah. But, I mean, if we're talking quarterbacks, I want to come in and take J.J. McCarthy's spot.
Right.
There's only one I want. Please, first off, Fred, please Steelers sign Aaron Rodgers so I don't have to see him in purple. I don't want him there. I hope
He's got to do his Brett Favre journey. You know this.
No,
Mike
he's
got to be Brett Favre.
Rodgers, Aaron Jones, all coming to Steelers.
Nah, he's got to have his Brett Favre career arc, and you know who's next on that.
Age back up, Fred.
If Aaron Rodgers comes back to the NFC North, I might kill myself.
I'm with you. And he might
that would be hilarious too if they're like, "Oh no, yeah, Aaron would probably be more sad than you, Phil. I'm gonna assume Aaron would be a lot more sad than you would be if he got Aaron Rodgers."
So bad. I've never been happy when somebody gets hurt in football. I never want it. I'll never forget that time that Anthony Barr laid that perfectly clean wink wink hit on Aaron Rodgers and broke his shoulder. I will never forget that moment.
Hey, trust me, Aaron. I know all about wink wink clean hits. I'm a Steelers fan. With James Harrison and Ryan Clark, trust me, I know more than anyone about the wink wink. Oh, that's a good safe play. Because I didn't know people looked at James Harrison the way I looked at Terrell Suggs. I couldn't believe that. People were like, James Harrison was dirty. I was like, dirty? No, that's Terrell Suggs and Vontez Burfict. That's the other guys in order. That's not my guy. My guy's clean. He plays clean as a whistle.
That's just AFC North.
Yeah. No, it really is, though. Everyone on their team had an absolute animal that just took people's heads off. And every one of those, fan base were always like, no, good clean hits every time. He never hit a dirty hit. Laid people out. But, hey. But nah. Screw Vontez Burfict and Terrell Suggs. I hate both of them.
Wow.
Yeah. Suggs. Phil, you got anything else you want to ask Aaron?
No, I think he pretty much answered all of the questions that I had for him. So, all we did it. So.
Alrighty.
Phil,
what's that?
Here you go.
What's your ranking prediction for the NFC North next season?
Ooh.
It's difficult. It's got to be one of the hardest to predict.
It's definitely difficult because as we won it this year, are we capable of dubbing back and getting the 1 seed? I think so, but will that happen? Because NFC North, it's usually always shuffled around. Well, we're either third or fourth most of the time, but that's tough. I'd say as of right now, I'm gonna go 1. Matter of fact, I will put us there. 1 Bears. 2. Geez, it is really tough. Oh my gosh.
It's difficult.
It is very difficult.
It's not even putting it at 2 and 3 that's hard. It's think about who am I putting it for?
Exactly. It's Packers don't ever end up 4, but I mean, they should get Micah back. Oof. I'm gonna go 2 Packers, 3 Vikings, 4 Lions again. I think the same order I had that it finished this year, but it's tough. I may redo that.
I got Lions, Bears, Vikings, Packers.
Ooh, that's
need to see the Packers in 4.
Yeah.
Need to see him in 4.
I would love that.
Oh, it'd be great. We're gonna get together and party if that happens, Philly.
Oh yeah. Party with Tanner. He can join us.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he had a lot of alcohol in his system for that party. He'd do a lot of pre-gaming. He'd probably be blackout drunk by the time he got there if it was that type of party. But
Fred, what about
what you say?
AFC North?
We already did these rankings.
Yeah, we
but
did.
I think
AFC. Yeah.
Well, and I think I went Browns 4, Steelers 3, Bengals 2, Ravens 1.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing is, like the Bengals, I every offseason I'm like, oh, they gotta do something on defense. They never do. Like so, I don't know. And then the Ravens, I mean, they got Mentor. I think he's gonna be like a not a Walmart version, but like if McDonald's an A+ coach, he'll be like a B version of that. So like I think they'll have probably top 10 defense, and then they'll have Lamar. But I mean, Zay's still gonna be their number one receiver. They still really won't have one, so they'll probably finish.
Tyson.
Who?
Tyson.
Yeah. They well, and I've heard about some trades. But I mean, what about AJ Brown too? By the way, he did all year. He shows up as coaches. He's reading books on the sideline, and then all Super Bowl week he was all lovey dovey with the Kevin Batula, good guy, good coach. It just didn't work out. I will say though, you know who he didn't defend? Quarterback. He talked about everybody else. He didn't. There was one guy all Super Bowl week he did not talk about like how I didn't hear him say nothing about. I don't know if he just forgot him in his speeches, but that's the one guy I didn't hear him say anything about.
Well, I wouldn't want to be in that position.
Oh no. Well, I mean, if we're being honest, he kind of right. Like he said, the way we're playing offense ain't gonna work, and then, well, I mean, it don't help that he had 3 drops, but the way their offense was playing, it was a problem, and it didn't work, and they lost the playoff game because of it. But could have maybe went about it a different way than showing up as coaches and read books. But we'll see. Anything else, Aaron? Before we get out of here?
Actually,
That's all.
I got one more thing, Aaron. So
What?
I know you already said you would like to move away from Aaron Jones. Who would you ideally want at running back other than Jordan Mason? Do you think Mason? Would you want him at the helm starting, or get him at backup and then bring somebody else in?
I think it's hard in today's NFL to just want one running back.
Yeah.
Because I look at Mason, and Mason's never going to break away for like some crazy run. But Mason's going to get you, he's going to put his nose down, he's going to get you 6 or 8 yards, you know. Kind of like a Charbonnet situation, you know. He ain't the main guy, but he's going to have a part. I mean, I tell you what, I'd love for Love to fall to 18.
Jeremiah.
I'd love to fall to 18.
Hang on, if that dude fell to 18, oh, that is a steal. At 18, if 17 teams pass on him, that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he makes it past the Saints or the Chiefs. I'd love to trade up for him.
Yeah.
Our cap space isn't looking good, but I wouldn't mind. I mean, I'd love looking at Kenneth Walker, with him being in contract, and then, I mean, who else you got on contract or free agency this year?
Maybe ETN. I'd have to look.
Yeah, and I think ETN's going to fetch a good contract because he had a killer year. Yeah. But just somebody that's a different play style than put your nose down. Somebody who can run outside, because I think Aaron Jones fit that profile, and I don't think Aaron Jones is bad. Like, I don't think he's going to be terrible. Right. But I think we learned with Dalvin Cook, once your production starts going down, it's at any given year.
Right.
They can just be done.
True that.
Nope.
All right, and then one more. So, and you also talked about you wanting to move away from T.J. Hawkinson. So who would you like to fill that void at tight end? Bring Irv Smith back?
Can't take Irv Smith from the Louisville Kings.
All right.
No, we need him out there.
All right.
Again, say Love ain't the guy you draft. There's another guy that this one's way more realistic, I think. Kenyon Stick out of Oregon. I mean,
beast.
He looks great. I like Eli Stowers out of Vandy?
Vandy,
yeah. He looks great. I like Young for tight ends because the thing about tight end is we have Josh Oliver, who isn't going to be the best pass catching tight end. He's improved over the past couple of years, but he's a 6-0 lineman. You know, we run 2 tight end sets all the time. He's the best run blocking tight end in the league, or I can't remember if it's run block or pass block, but like we've got a good tight end too that we're going to use a lot. We need more of that receiver type like Hawkinson was. So maybe like a Sadiq or Njoku just announced that he won't be going back to the Browns. You know, I think there's plenty of options out there at tight end this year.
Okay, I appreciate it. That's all from me, Fred.
All righty. Anything else you want to add on your episode here? Eh?
No, I'm good. Thanks y'all for having me.
Oh, absolutely no problem, man. Give me a skull to end the episode.
Oh,
there we go. That's what we're gonna end every episode like that. We're gonna end it with the team, whatever their saying is, shout is. I'll do it too. Skull. You know.
There
Philly,
you go.
Skull.
I wasn't even gonna tell Philly he had to do it. He's a Bears fan, but you know, if he wants
Bears fan, that was fun.
I was gonna say if he didn't even have to.
That's the least hated team that in the NFC North for me. So not too much.
I think I have to agree. The Bears might be the least hated team for me.
Yeah, we
I can't tell you how many times I caught myself hoping y'all beat the Packers when they had Aaron.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense though. Y'all see that is the thing y'all definitely have in common is hatred for the Packers.
Oh yeah,
like true. We hate that guy, or what? We hate Aaron Rodgers, but we hate that team in general.
Yeah. They always find somebody worthy to hate, like Matt LaFleur.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of my least favorite people out there.
Same.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, it happens. Some guys you just don't like, and then they put that uniform on.
Always got to say.
Yeah. Well, all righty. That's the episode for today. See y'all on Saturday.